Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump and fuel filter on my 1984 Porsche 928S. So a little background before we get started. So the whole reason I'm doing this project is I want to be able to get the car moved out of here and moved up to the house and into the garage. Unfortunately, I can't move this car the way I did with the 914, which I did in an earlier video, which if you saw my video on how I modified a winch that I bought, then you'll have seen me move Porsche 914. But that car was 1,900 pounds. This weighs over 3,300 pounds, and it's been sitting here a while. It's hot, it's humid, the brakes are rusted, so it's gonna be very difficult to move just trying to push it. And so I'd rather not have to fight the vehicle into position to be able to get onto a trailer. So we're gonna try to start it. Now I attempted to do this about, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. Came down, tried to see if the vehicle would turn on. It would not. However, it was attempting to turn over, and we were kind of, based off a previous incident we had where we had a fuel leak, we were kind of pointing towards the idea that maybe the fuel pump and fuel filter have gone bad, and possibly a fuel hose back there coming off of the pump to the tank may have the leak in it. We're going to replace those today, and hopefully that is the cause of my issue, and then at the end of the video, maybe the car will start. So I'm crossing my fingers on that. Now you may have noticed that the car is very dirty. Again, it's been sitting here a while, so please don't give me too hard a time about that. If I can get the car started today, after I replace the fuel pump and stuff, then I'll pull it out and I'll wash it off, and then it won't look so bad anymore. But first step of this process is gonna be, we're gonna get the car up in the air a bit. So I've got my jack stands, and this car has some special lift bars that I bought that are really cool. So we're gonna use those to get it off the ground a little higher. I could probably do this job without it, but it'll give you more space so I can get the camera under there so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first step I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get the car lifted up, and these are the lift bars that I was talking about just a minute ago. This did not come with the car, you have to buy them separately, but they are really cool. They're custom made to fit under the car, and they have, you can see you've got a little pop out here, and this right here, and they stick up into hard points on the vehicle, and then this whole lift bar basically will lift up under the jack, and then you can use this to lift the car in the middle, and then you can put your stands underneath, lower your jack onto it. So you're able to lift up the entire side of the car all at once, get 2 jack stands under it and support it. And so it makes getting the car up in the air really easy and really quick. Getting it into position at first can be a little bit annoying, especially if you're doing it by yourself. But if there's 2 people here, this would be a lot easier. Double check, all right, and good. First part, I'm gonna apply a little bit of tension to the jack so I can get final placement here. There we go. All right, so let's show you what it looks like from underneath. So before we send the car into the air, we'll show you what it looks like. So that's where the front part of it goes. And let's come on back. And there we go. There's the back part. Just right in there. And you can see that flat part meets up with a spot to lift on right there. Okay guys, so I'm at the back of the car, and this is the fuel tank cover. So the fuel tank, you can see part of it right here, and then this cover kind of extends around and covers it up and helps hide the fuel pump and the fuel filter. So you can see right there. Alright, that, I gotta take that one off, and there's one right here. Well, it's really dark in there. There There you go, you can just see it right there sticking out. I gotta take that one off as well. Okay, I'll try my best here so you guys can see what's going on. But this will be kind of difficult because I still have to see. And let's try putting it on off. There we go. Alright, so the panel is now off. We can see what we're going to be looking at and working on. So what we got here is we got the fuel filter that's going to be replaced. We got the fuel pump back here. I'm a little concerned about this one because mine looks a bit different. Again, mine says it's supposed to work for this car, so God, I hope so. And then off of that, what's also going to be replaced is the hose right here. And I don't know how well you guys can see it, but look right there where the light is. Take it away. And that is damaged. That hose as a whole, it's coming apart. So that could be the source of the fuel leak that I had a while back. So I'm actually really happy to see that and see that damage because I bought a new hose for this, and that's like an $80 hose, even though it's so freaking short. It's only like 6 inches long. It's 80 bucks. So I'm actually, I'm feeling pretty good that I bought that hose, and it definitely needs to be replaced because that goes straight to the tank, to the pump. So that's important. Okay guys, so minor little headache. So like I said, this hose needs to be replaced. That's great, I bought it. However, it's not part of the filter and fuel pump replacement. So of course, Porsche being Porsche, they buried it. So the only way to get this thing off is, it's really easy here on the front. No big deal, right? But to get it off of the tank itself, the hose clamp is buried back in there where I can't get at it because it's going up and down. And I need to have a screwdriver basically like right there, or maybe about there. Okay, so this pan has to be removed, but this pan is attached to these bands right here, and they support the tank. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my jack over, I'm gonna put it underneath here with some wood. I'm gonna help, I'm gonna put some blocks up basically and support the weight because these hold the tank in place. So there's 4 of them total. I'm gonna hope that I can remove the front 2, and that will lower the lip of this pan enough that I can get my flat blade screwdriver in there to release that hose clamp and get this hose off of there. So that's what I'm gonna hope for. Okay, we're gonna clamp this. Got a fuel cannon on hand. Oh, wow, that was really on there. Okay, finally got that sucker off. Okay, time to see if there's any fuel that's gonna come out of this. Well, good news, there's no fuel coming out. Or is that bad news? I'm not sure. Okay, so my next step, I'm gonna remove the straps that are holding up the tank, at least the 2 on the front. So I got 1 bolt there, and I've got 1 right there that I need to remove. So I'm gonna do that. You guys probably won't be able to see it on camera, so I'm not gonna bother filming this section. Okay guys, so I wasn't able to get away with just removing the front or back 2 brackets, or we want to call this, the ones closest to the back of the car, so I guess the back. I did have to undo the other 2. There's 1 right there, you can see it hanging down right there, and then there's 1 on the side which you can't see. I did put the block of wood here, and I put my jack with a piece of like rubber block underneath the tank just in case as a support, although the tank doesn't seem to be going anywhere, so it seems to be supported by something else. But that's going to give me access to that stupid hose clamp, which you can probably barely see right back there. Now I can get to it, and when I put it back on, I'll put it back on in a way where you can actually access it without having to remove all this stuff. Well, that's not good. I don't think anything's supposed to be clogging that. All right, so I cleaned out this area. I used a small little like pick tool essentially and cleaned out everything. And when I did that, I really expected a whole bunch of fuel to come out of the tank, because like 2 months ago when I was down here, I put 2 gallons of fuel in the fuel tank attempting to start the car, and nothing came out. So that raised some red flags. So I put the hose on here, and we're gonna go up top now and see what's wrong. Okay, so we're gonna go up to the top here of the fuel tank. So coming up the car, going into the trunk, this right here is the fuel level sender. It's basically the float that then responds electrically to the fuel gauge up the dash. And then right here we have, well, opening for it, and then that's the top of the fuel tank. And we're gonna look down in the fuel tank, and I know it's gonna be a little bit difficult. Try to get the light in there. Okay, really hard for you guys to see, I know, but it's bone dry in the tank. Okay, there's not a drop of fuel in there. In fact, there's barely any fuel fumes at all coming out of there. And that right there is broken, unfortunately. So that's a problem. So what this is going to come down to is I'm going to put this back in, and then what's probably going to happen from there is after I get that in, we're going to come back to the bottom of the car. We are going to finish installing this hose correctly. So we'll get the hose clamp back on there. And I am not going to replace the pump or the filter yet. So we're going to get the hose back on there since it was bad. We'll get the filter and pump back up there and get this whole bracket assembly reattached, and then we are going to test the pump with a multimeter and see if it works or not. Okay guys, so after I finished up last night cleaning up inside the tank, and I cleaned up the area where this fuel hose attaches to, I'm now at the point where I've gone and I've checked to see if the fuel pump will work, and I basically applied power to it. It did not turn on, it didn't make any sound at all, so I'm pretty positive the pump is dead. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed now with replacing the filter and replacing the pump as well. Okay, so a little change of plan. I'm not going to be removing the fuel filter, and that's because I need 2 19mm wrenches to get this, and I only have one on hand. And I don't have an adjustable wrench on hand either, and I don't feel like going to buy one when I have one at home. I just don't have one here at the warehouse. So we're just going to replace the pump, which is fine because, of course, the pump is the actual problem here, and the car should run even with an old filter. So just need a 19mm to get this free, which I've already done. And you'll need to remove these very stiff electrical boot covers so you can get to the terminals and get those off. Right now the back one's still on there just because I don't really have a lot of space. Alright, it is going to leak some fuel even though there's nothing in the tank. It's still got a little bit of fuel in there. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so here's my old pump and this is my new one. It's a little bit different and it will require a little bit of assembly. So real fast, what I need to do is, this is the check valve. You can buy this separately for this, or it just comes with your new pump. So I'm gonna have to put it in this end so we match up with the one over there. And then on the other end, I don't know why they did this. Maybe it's because they were able to make it fit for multiple cars. But you see that this is where the fuel hose that I replaced earlier goes to, and it is part of it. Whereas this one, it can't currently take it. This is just a little cover. So remove that and have to install this into there. And then my fuel hose will be able to go on it. So once I assemble it, then I'll put it in place. Okay guys, that's where I'm gonna end it for today. So I'm just gonna do the fuel pump and leave the fuel filter. Now I'm gonna test it. Hopefully the pump will come on. Otherwise it could be the relay, but I can still check the pump itself. When I tested the old pump, I initially applied the power directly to the pump at the back of the car. This time with the new pump installed, I applied the power by turning the ignition on. However, nothing happened. So I pulled the fuel pump relay and then used a small jumper cable to bridge the two terminals to be able to apply current to the pump. And sure enough, it came on, thus proving that the fuel pump relay was bad and the original fuel pump was bad since I tested it at the source. After about 4 or 5 attempts, the car finally started, and it surprised the hell out of me when it did, and I immediately ended up turning the car off by accident. This is actually the first time I have heard the car start since I joined the Marines almost 10 years ago. The only way I can keep the car running is if I keep my foot on the gas. So the engine is definitely running pretty rough, but for my intention of being able to get the car out of a garage and onto a trailer so I can get it back to the house, I should be able to make this work. So if you're wondering whose legs are sticking out the passenger side of the car, since I'm clearly in the driver's seat, that would be my dad. So he is holding the jumper cable that we used to get the fuel pump running in place, because without it, the fuel pump won't turn on since the relay isn't working. So the reason why he's doing that and I'm in the driver's seat is because the driver's side door lock is broken, so the door won't open. So the only way to get into the driver's seat is to crawl over, and that's easier for me to do than for him. So he got stuck with, honestly, the worst job of just holding the jumper cable in position while essentially upside down in the car because of where it's located. Before I end this video, I'll summarize everything I found wrong with the fuel system. The fuel line from the tank to the pump was bad. The exit from the tank was clogged. The tank itself was completely bone dry despite the fact that fuel had been added a couple months prior. There was also a part inside the tank that's broken, although there's no way to fix it or get it out of there because of the way the tank is built. Luckily, it does not cause any issues with the running of the car. The fuel pump itself was also bad, and then the fuel pump relay was bad. I will definitely be doing more videos on the 928 in the future to get it fully running again, so make sure you stick around, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time on the DIY Grunt.